weird.
Leveled up. That's a tale of history and imagination.
One
second, somebody just talk to me. Like I said before, Tzvi Lebetkin, Nicola Bryant is a teen boy fancy, while Mary Tam is when you brought home to your mother. I would do a threesome, actually. You could see talking to Meet the Boss, taking to Meet the Boss and work. That is true. Mary Tam, very, very, very presentable. Absolutely, I do agree. Very presentable. Let's say I'm going to have a Doctor Who threesome. Okay, Nicola Bryant and who else? Okay, it is the question. I'm going for Deborah Watling. Okay. Deborah Watling, Nicola Bryant, I think that'll be a very good Doctor Who threesome. Also, from very different eras. So you can have a chat about all different things, right? You wouldn't need to focus on one era of Doctor Who. Anyway, that was said. Your new Kickstarter up here, Tales of Mystery and Imagination. So this is an amalgam of what you've done before.
It is, yeah. This is all.
This is why I really want to get it. It wasn't. I really, really want to get this one because it's you've got a hardcover with this one, didn't you?
I've got a hardcover. I'm going to quickly jump to because I've got an Indiegogo that I'm going to close off at the end of this month. I was going to do it last week, but like I say, somebody just backed it again. And this is the hardcover that was done in the Indiegogo. So this is my print proof. So it's going to print, and I'll actually have all the copies.
Let me make you large.
Yeah, so it's going to print, and I'll have all the copies getting printed at the end of the
I genuinely see. This is why I like Krausel's comics. There's so much love and attention. I'll tell you, Bogerman. There's so much love and attention put forward into it, right? Like you made it as good as you can make it. It's absolutely beautiful. And it's like you would love to have on your shelf, right?
Loads of colour. Yeah, it's like. Originally, the whole idea behind it was I wanted to. I used to make games. I used to be involved in the video games industry, and when I left that industry, I started teaching. So I was working at Dundee College, teaching games production and art and design. And I wanted to keep my hand in something, so I decided I'd do a wee comic book. So the first issue I did of Tales of Mystery and Imagination, it was all kind of like Edgar Allan Poe and H.P. Lovecraft stories. So it allowed me and the other artists that I managed to rope in that I used to work with, allowed us to have a story to start with and not have to worry about coming up with something. And then you could just kind of like, for the first comic that we put out, we could just play around with editing down these original stories and making a strip out of it. And after that, I started getting students involved as well. And so some of the strips were done with students I worked with. And I created a character called the Tatty Bogle Man, and he's like the crypt keeper. And I wanted him to be very Scottish and very kind of like, lots of puns and really kind of bad taste and corny.
Do you still the badges? You gave away with one campaign, like a little little Tatty Bogle badge.
Yeah, still got the badges. Yep, I've got a little Tatty Bogle Man. I tied it up beforehand. I did have some line here. I was posting some stuff out to some people earlier on, and yes, wee badges based on the. I'll show you. It's on the back page here. I've got the print I did for the Elsa Dark campaign.
But I have to interrupt you a second. I've been thinking about this for a little while. The threesome would have to actually be Mary Tam, Nicola Bryant. I'm terribly sorry, right? I'm sorry to interrupt. Mary Tam, Nicola Bryant. There you go.
Well, that was too important not to share.
Listen, it's been playing on my mind, right? It's been playing on my mind. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah, I understand exactly how you got to that conclusion.
Listen, I was A/B testing them all, right? Like in the background as I was working. Right, and eventually there was actually a very good episode of Dark Mirror once where they lived in this weird world where they had they kind of were told how long their relationships were going to last and they didn't like each other. Right, and it was just. Do you ever see that one?
Yeah, I don't think I saw that one.
It wasn't bad. Anyway, that's before it got boring. Anyway,
I'm very much every third episode of watching Dark Mirror. I'm that kind of person.
I understand.
Yeah,
so, I would. So, wait, if somebody wants to get a copy,
well, if you want this hardcover copy, the only way to get it right now is on Indiegogo. So I've got because it's still running, and you can get. There's two versions of the hard copy you can get.
Right.
There's this one that I'm holding up. That's it here, and here's some pages. I'll take a closer look
honestly, at them. And like, look, even if you're not a massive,
and there's this one here, which is a photo cover.
I mean, sorry, if you're not a massive, even if you're not, this is just such a fun thing to have.
Yeah. So that's Indiegogo. It's still running, and that's the only way to get the hardcover. The reason I'm saying that is because there were two options on this Kickstarter that I started. Never done Kickstarter before, so I just kicked it off, as they say. That's a Tatty Bogo man in me. Kicked it off, as they say, on the 14th of February without much fanfare, and it's just ticking along. And this is for the softcover edition. There were 10 hard copies included in this, but they've all gone. But I am getting a proof print of the soft cover printed for next week as well.
How much is the soft cover one? You might be talking me into the soft cover, right?
So the soft cover is £20, and I think international postage I've got at 18. I'm actually undercutting myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm undercutting myself.
That. You know what? I might well treat myself.
Yeah, because I know how bad it is.
Oh, no, I like the hardcover one. Hardcover is like an extra £8, right? But it's going to make shipping more expensive. Aye.
Well, the hardcover is only available. It's £28.
£28, yeah.
On the Indiegogo, right? So that if you're going for the hardcover, that's where you can get it.
It's a nice book. So what's inside it? Like, how many pages? What's inside it?
It's 128 pages inside, interior stuff. It's a collection of the 4 issues that I put out over a couple of years. That's them there on a nice table at a convention. And it's got a really diverse look about it. Every kind of story, one after the other, is completely different. So I can
see, that's what I really like. This really, I think, like if you love comics as a medium, this one really explores what you can do with it. Right, and there is a nice diverse. This is why I think Tiny Boba is a great idea, right? You could because it's kind of like the Crypt Keeper, introducing a myriad of different stories. Have you looked into AI, by the way? You could probably make something animated with them for your next campaign.
Well, funny you should mention that. I think that's my project for the summer. Yeah, I've got a few ideas of things that I may want to do.
The video stuff's coming along leaps and bounds.
Yeah, I've got a few ideas of things I want to work with, and I've been edging towards doing a live action Tatty Bogo Man, and a live action Tatty Bogo Man.
We are not far away from you being able to do that. I'm genuinely, we are not far. That's why I like AI. Like, imagine you could do all this as a movie, like as a channel. Wouldn't it be awesome? You would totally do it. Absolutely, you would. And that's where content's going to be in 10 years from now, right? If BBC had any sense, they'll turn themselves into a social media platform like YouTube, right? And anybody in England can post, and you have an open algorithm that the people most interesting get promoted, and that's where the budget goes to, right? But but with AI, totally is where it's going. It's crazy. You could really do something in audio right now with AI. I do a lot of stuff with AI in audio.
Yeah. It's here to stay. So everybody really, you've just got to kind of embrace it and try and work out how to use it. You know, so it's not going anywhere.
One thing I like about this one as well, it's got a very EC vibe, but a very British take on it. It feels like it comes from the same roots as 2000 AD, even though it's far. Yeah, same roots as Scream. Right, but again, in a much more darker, X-rated, I would say, version, right? Yeah, but it also has that EC feel.
Yeah, I mean that's my artwork there. So I was very influenced by the Warren horror comics, like Creepy and Eerie and Vampirella.
Right.
But yeah, I was trying to bring a hybrid, so it's got EC meets Warren, but 2000 AD, of course, is reading that as a kid, you can't not be influenced by that, and again you had like completely different art styles in that, which is really cool. So I can go to something really quite ridiculous and cartoony like this, but the Kieran. But when you get to the punchline, it's quite grotesque, But so you get still
right.
And there's me again. That's a Tatty Bogo Man.
Yeah, you go
doing what he does best, and that's X. That's one of her pages from. It's only a 2-page story, that, so I can't actually show any more of it because it would spoil it.
Right.
But she's got an adaptation of The Raven, and then we've got an ecological horror story.
Zombies.
Zombies.
Love it.
So you get 128 pages. You get all these stories. It doesn't take itself too seriously when it's not doing Edgar Allan Poe, in which case we do take ourselves seriously. There's lots of kind of like.
How big is it?
Well, it's A4, so I'm trying to think. Do I have?
It's a nice like coffee table book.
Yeah, hang on a second. So there's an American floppy next to it, just to give you an idea of the size. There we go.
Yeah, so you get. I've been really getting into oversized comics of late. Like on Saturdays it's Sabbath, so like I'm offline. And I've been reading a lot of like the what's it, Absolute editions. I'm really enjoying it, and I much prefer like the reprints of 2000 AD that are bigger. Right? I mean, maybe I'm just old.
Well, the reprint in 2000 AD smaller than they should have because
I agree with you.
Yeah, because originally it was more of almost a square bound kind of weekly comic that you were getting, but they were about kind of like narrowing them down a little bit, so they were shrinking them. So it's good to get them. On a bigger scale. Yeah. Everybody gets a print as well. Everybody gets a Tati Bogoman print.
Nice.
So that was a cover for the second issue, but I did it over the weekend, was never happy with it, so I completely redrew it. The original drawing was part of the campaign. Peter Gilmore bought that, so he's got the original pencil art. Well, he's not got it yet, because I'm still to send it to him. But
from Pink Floyd?
No, not that one. The one that, this is Peter Gilmore from Super Dead and what's his name? Jack the Vampire Hunter. Yeah, Comicsgate, Peter Gilmore.
Oh, there you go. What's going on with Comicsgate? Are they still at war with themselves?
Oh, I've no idea. I've never really got involved in all the drama.
Right. No, I remember you always just like making comics, essentially, and like,
pretty much
who like comics.
Yeah, I kind of like that's what it should all be about. If they're not talking about making comics, then I'm not really interested. I mean, yes, it was about. For me, it was like I'm so anti-censorship and free speech. Pro free speech and anti-censorship. I didn't like what was happening in mainstream comics and how they were changing, and kind of like people were being ostracized for not having the right thoughts.
Oh, now they deny it and deny it and deny it, right?
Yeah, so I was
relentlessly.
So that's a big part of it. But at the same time, it's like there's other things that kind of come in. Everybody talks about in Comicsgate, and it's like I'm not interested in that. We should just be making good comics that people want to read. And if you want to make them political, fine, do it. Just don't do it with other characters. Do your own characters.
Constantly. Again, they brought back Doctor Who with David Tennant, and it was so gay. Oh God! You just chill out with your like. Okay, why do you have to scream at me that you like to suck a dick? It's fine. Go ahead. No one's telling you whatever you want. Like, don't tell me that chicks would like every time. It said it like 8 times in the episode. Like, oh, you're a beautiful girl, to a big strapping bloke with a just red chin. I'm like, no, she's not. They're too like, you'd like to be twice. Stop with that.
Yeah, see, this is why I don't watch present day Doctor Who.
Yeah, exactly.
My head would explode.
I don't watch present day anything. It's all shit.
Yeah.
All I have to say, I am enjoying Master of the Air. What else am I watching right now? The Apprentice. Are you watching The Apprentice?
No.
Okay.
I don't have a license, so I don't watch anything on the BBC now. I get rid of my license, so I don't watch any of that terrestrial TV.
Don't blame me. But there's a woman on there who can negotiate. Like it's insane what she can talk people into doing.
Yeah,
I like that one. Kraken Eye.
The Kraken's Eye. Yeah, that's. My job in most of this, other than I always did the largest strip in it, and I would do some kind of like polishing and rewrites on some of the stories, because some of the people that were contributing original stories they weren't writers, and they were pretty happy for me to kind of like polish up their
Look,
stuff.
you know what you're doing. You've been around. So how much longer is this one up for? You've got to get the Indiegogo. You want to close any time now?
The Indiegogo, I want to close, as soon as I can. Like I said, I only kept it open because somebody else backed one, and so I'm getting the print run for this. I should be getting it next Friday, and it's definitely be closed by next Friday.
All right, so if you want the hardcover, which I am tempted.
Then Indiegogo. I have no hardcovers available in the Kickstarter, but I do have an infinite number of softcover editions, which are also A4. So they are going to be, they're slightly smaller than the hardback because the hardback cover is always like,
as the
takes up a few millimeters around it, but they're still A4. It's the same interior stock as well, so it's the same paper that's been used for the interior. So it's not like when you buy you buy a something from Marvel now, you get like one of these epic books or that, and the paper is almost, you feel as if you blew on it, it would start to disintegrate because they're making it thinner and thinner with every release. So this is a good 130 gram silk paper that's going to be in the soft cover as well. So
very good. Again, it's a quality product. I mean, like, it's a quality product, dripping love, which I think I think basically anybody would enjoy. And I think it's a fun thing to have on the table.
It's like, I already do. It's, if you do have kids that like horror, because it's quite successful with some kids at convention. There's no overt nudity or sex in it, and wherever there's any sort of if anybody's saying fuck, it will be like with using the old kind of like, it'll be like if it was an asterisk ago, it'll be kind of bleeped out with kind of like these symbols.
Let me be clear. If you require nudity or profanity for a price, we can put it in. Okay.
Well, if you want to add it, but it doesn't really, because I still wanted, that was the kind of EC vibe, but I was thinking they had limitations, even they put on themselves, and so I wanted to put limitations on myself, so that it felt old school, because it never really quite, you know what I mean. So these limitations kind of like just let us concentrate on the horror. And saying that, it's still some pretty sick stuff in it.
It's you show it to kids, but they won't be the same again.
If you don't mind your kids looking at horror stories and that, then they'll be fine with it.
They'll be fine. They will be totally 100% fine.
I always get like kids that will kind of like look through the Tatty Bogleman story, and they'll get to the scene with the girl's dancing about with the face that's just ripped off somebody in front of her, and they always laugh and start giggling when they see it, because they know they shouldn't be looking at stuff like that.
I know.
And that's exactly what I was going for. It's great when a kid has to ask their parent if they can buy it for them, and then they do. It's great. Feels as if you've converted somebody over to the House of Horror. It's fabulous.
There you go. Well, again, it's very much. Look, your love of the genre and your experience in it bleeds through, shall we say? Absolutely bleeds through. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.